Hello and welcome to episode 89 of the Skipper's View. Is this actually episode 89?
This is 89 still.
Okay, so that other episode is going to be numbered
Yeah,
when it
just when
comes
we
out.
get to the interview, we're going to say, okay, this is technically, it should have been this, but it's not.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to edit it. Okay, this is the last of Brett's like covering teams. I think we're going to move to divisions for the rest of them, correct?
Yeah, we're going to speed it up. We got, a few weeks just till catchers and pitchers report. So might as well, we're going to knock out the AL West, and then we'll take care of the entire National League the next couple episodes. We won't go more position by position. We'll just really go over the needs and guys that are out there. We'll make some suggestions and talk about it, what makes sense. And then overall, based off the moves that the teams have made, me and you can go back and forth on what we think is going to happen in the division.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just to start, I guess I want to just read off the MLB top prospects because you had called me the other day when that was happening. So should I just read them off 10-1? I mean, they're pretty obvious.
Yeah. I honestly should have started off the agenda with that. So you go for it.
So Walter Jenkins, who you had just mentioned prior to this, which I don't think I have any cards of his. I mean, maybe I have did he come out in draft?
I don't think so. I don't know. Don't call me on that because I don't think I have them either. And I bought. I don't want to admit how many packs I bought, but I bought a lot of packs.
I believe that you have bought a lot of packs. You guys start buying individual cards. So Walter Jenkins is number 10. Colson Montgomery, White Sox is number 9. Ethan Salas. I told you about my Ethan Salas debacle, right?
No, I did not. But
I did like a division opening. So I traded the West for the AL East. I traded the NL West for the AL East, and the guy got a Ethan Salas autograph out of 25. It's worth like $1,000.
And
now I got a Samuel Basayo here, who's here, 17th overall ranked prospect. I got his autograph, which is cool, but doesn't really feel the best. Max Clark, just pointing him out real quick, because he just got drafted. Jackson Merrill and Jordan Lawler, just outside the top 10. Both expected to be up this year. Lawler was up a little for the Diamondbacks, but didn't really break in. Dylan Cruz, number 7 for the Nationals. Number 6, Wyatt Langford for the Rangers. Number 5, Evan Carter for the Rangers, although he played already. So World Series champions having 5 and 6 overall prospects. Junior Caminero, number 4. Paul Skeens, number 3. Jackson Churio, number 2. And Jackson Holiday, number 1. So Holiday, Churio, and Skeens, actually 1 through 7 are all predicted to be up this year. So Holiday, Churio, Skeens, Caminero, Carter, Langford, and Cruz. Salas is expected to be up next year because he's still pretty young. He's 17, so I think probably more like 2026 for him. But I just wanted to put that out there real quick and show that because we had spoken about it briefly. I think when Baseball America put out their rankings, we mentioned it well. So I think they're pretty similar. First up, Arizona agrees to a 1-year deal with free agent Jock Peterson that includes a mutual option for 2025. The club has not commented on or confirmed the deal, so I'm assuming he's taking a physical.
Yeah, I'm sure this came out, I think, a couple of days ago. Let's see if it's been confirmed since then. I added that when it happened. So Jock Peterson, looks like it's a proven year. 3 hours ago. Sorry, I actually don't know if the physical is confirmed here, but we can keep going while I look this up.
Yeah, not super important. Detroit signs number 2 prospect. I think he's number 25 overall, which actually I have the prospect list up, so let me just go double check. Doesn't? Oh, okay. MLB.com has him as 22. So Colt Keith, who is the number 2 prospect for the Detroit Tigers behind Max Clark, signs a 6-year contract worth $28 million. There's a bunch of incentives that can throw it up to $82 million. And it also, the contract can go from 2030 to 2032. So heavily incentive-based contract. Will be interesting to see what happens there. We've seen a lot of that recently. Jackson Churio being the most recent example. Keith is 22, so it's not like he's super. I mean, he's young, but it's not like he's like an 18, 19-year-old. So it should be interesting.
By the way, I think that number 2 prospect thing was the number 2 in the Detroit
He is.
system.
He's number 22 overall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Number 2 in Detroit, number 22 overall. Next up, David Robertson signs 1-year deal for $11.5 million. In the deal, a source told MLBs.com, Mark Feinsand, he'll earn $5 million in 2024 and this is confusing.
I literally copied and pasted this.
Okay, so you wrote 1-year deal. You wrote
got
1-year deal.
He got 1 year, but I think it's
He'll
a
get $11.5 million guaranteed in the deal.
Yeah.
He'll earn $5 million in 2024 for $7 million mutual option for 2025.
So I think it's a 1 year and then a 1 year opt out. So a 2 year. My bad. I did write that bad. The bottom of it, I copied and pasted.
You did write it bad.
Apologies there. But yeah, the Rangers got their guy. They got their guy after they missed on Hader. I don't care what Rangers say. That was a miss. They wanted Hader.
Yeah. And they lost Chapman, right?
Yeah. Obviously, he's now with Pittsburgh. Chicago gets their own reliever as well. They finally get the coveted Hector Neris, who we've mentioned on almost every episode for any contender that could use him.
You have mentioned him. I forgot. I didn't realize how old he was. He's a little older. 1-year deal worth $9 million with an option for 2025. I believe that's a team option. So we'll see if they hold on to him. Well, Bellinger is still available, so we'll see if the Cubs end up trying to just sign him and go for that. Royals and second baseman outfielder Adam Frazier an agreement on a 1-year deal worth $2 million. So he goes from Pirates to Royals. That will be for $8.5 million with an mutual option for 2025. Next up, the Washington New Jerseys. Did you see them, Brett?
Oh,
you're asking me the notes if I saw.
Yeah, I'm asking you if you've seen the new jerseys. Yeah,
I have. Yeah, have you?
Okay, what are your thoughts? Yes, I did. I was asking what your
they're retiring after this year. They're retiring the pink flower jerseys, City Connect jerseys that they have. I'm forgetting it's late. I'm forgetting what the pink flower is. The rose flower. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm actually Googling it as you said that.
I'll do it.
Yeah, show us first.
Let me see. Cherry blossom. I should have freaking known that. Do moment. They are retiring these after the season.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, but they're retiring them. And they are so our YouTube watchers can see kind of like a low V cut. Let's see. There we go. So these are the jerseys for this year. This is straight from Washington Nationals Twitter. I like it. I think they look pretty cool. These are the away. So I think it's after the season that they're retiring those cherry blossom ones. So those are the City Connect ones I think they're getting rid of. But I like them. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, no, I do like them. I do. The pullovers too. They're not traditional, but they are cool. The Angels have brought in the services of Mr. Aaron Hicks. This is a weird deal, obviously, because he's still under the 7-year, $70 million contract he signed with the Yanks. This goes through the 2025 season. So the deal, the deal pays Aaron Hicks $9.5 million in 2024, and then $9.5 million in 2025. It includes a $1 million buyout for a club option in 2026, and the Yankees are still responsible for all of it, minus the league minimum of $740K the Angels have to pay him this year.
Yeah,
I mean, what a bad contract.
But I mean, he's been gone for 2 years now, so
it's still like it just hurts every time I see it.
Yeah, the Yankees have not been smart with their money. The exception of Garrett Cole, I guess, and maybe Judge, but he was injured last year, so who knows? The Guardians have reportedly agreed to a minor league contract with Carlos Carrasco. The club has not confirmed the signing. I think they have confirmed the signing at this point. I think they've announced that they're bringing him to spring training. Vanessa Hudgens, I'm saying Vanessa Hudgens' husband, because I'm Cole Taylor. Cole Taylor? What's his name? I'm brain farting.
I don't know. I know he plays on the Pirates, or he did.
He did. Then he went to Colorado, and now he's with the Mariners. But my brain is mush, so let me go back. I tweeted about it yesterday, and I got like 1,000 likes.
By the way, Judgy had 37 pumps last year, so I'm not worried about him with the injury.
Okay, well, he gets injured. So, so Cole Tucker also just adding to this, signs a minor league deal with Seattle. Most people were just commenting because he is Vanessa Hutchinson's husband now. Aaron Judge played the majority of his innings at center field. I saw you tweet about that before. Again, talking about injury. There you go. Great place to get injured. He has 0 gold gloves. Trent Grisham has 2 gold gloves, but again, he's not going to be starting. So Grisham's going to be that rotating outfielder that goes in and gives Soto, Judge, and Verdugo a break, as Stanton is going to be the DH, I assume. Although at the beginning of the offseason, they had mentioned Stanton getting more playing time in the field, so we'll see.
This is what I was thinking was, are the Yankees just going to totally sacrifice? Because Juan Soto, as good as he is at baseball, he's not a premier defender. In fact, he's never won a Gold Glove in his career. Even though he's young. He's young.
You're bad.
No, it doesn't. But Judge, who's always been known for his,
he's not a good defender, but yes.
I was just about to say, I've actually heard the contrary. I think Judge. I was trying to. Who are you looking up? Soto?
I was talking about Juan Soto. No, I'm not looking up. Okay. I'm saying Judge is a good defender. Juan Soto is not as good a defender.
I gotta look up his F4 for his defensive
F4 is just Fangraph.
Okay, so if you do they have defensive WAR statistics, or is it just normal WAR, which takes into everything, defense and offensive statistics?
No, D-WAR.
But regardless, Judge, I've always
Soto.
You see him play. I think he's a.
I was trying to add to what you were asking. Soto has a negative 1.2 D-WAR.
Okay. What about Judge?
I'm pulling him up now.
So my point being is, do the Yankees potentially start Grisham in the outfield and not start Stanton? Platoon Stanton. Would that be crazy to do? Especially if he had, I don't know off the top of my head if he has a big split difference between righties and lefties, but it's a thought based off how bad Stanton's been. Maybe platoon Grisham and Stanton to their strengths, because the defense in the outfield, Verdugo's not a spectacular outfielder. Judge is above average, I'd say. Soto's probably and then you got Soto's an athlete.
Below average. Well, Soto's below average defender.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's athletic, so I'm okay with that, like him being in the field. But never, it's.
I mean, Stanton actually had a better D-WAR than, less games.
That's bad. I'm interested to see how this plays out. The reason why I was saying is starting Trent Grisham here, worth it. Just because exactly what you said, Aaron Judge, injuries, is it worth it to have him out in center field more than one of the corners? And if we could avoid him playing center, I don't know if there's even more injuries in center versus one of the corners. I feel there's a lot more running out there.
It's more like soft tendon injuries, I guess you would be risking.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you cover more ground. You're running more. Do we need our best hitter doing that? Actually, I can't even say if. Actually, who do you see is better hitter, Soto or Judge? Judge, right? That's a tough one. I don't know who to call the Yankees' best hitter, but I'm saying we don't need our best hitter playing center field.
No. I don't see why they're not playing Verdugo in center.
Yeah. Did he play center for the Sox? Do you know?
He moved around, but he played left mostly.
Well,
they don't have a star defender in the outfield, pretty much. I know you said Grisham won 2 Gold Gloves, but he's not a star.
I know, but I'm bringing them up because he won them in 2020 and 2022. He's older and he's done it more.
2020 doesn't count.
But he did it in 2022, which is very recent, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That being said, we could jump to the Twins. Let's talk about the Twinnies. So they made the playoffs last year. That was huge. What?
I wanted to shoot myself in the face. That The Twinnies made the playoffs last year. That was huge.
Why?
I don't know. There's nothing there.
It's tough for me to get excited about the Twins, and I'll go, well, list why. So, yes, it is exciting because they did go to the playoffs. They won a playoff series last year, if I'm not mistaken. And they, the reason why I'm not interested in this team is because they have no stars. It's like they have a bunch of guys you think, like, if you don't know anything about their statistics or whatever and just look at them, it looks like they all bat 260. Like, I just would, like, imagine they all bat 260. Like, no one pops off the page for me, even though that's not the truth. It seems like between Correa, Kirilloff, Kepler, Miranda, Willie Castro, Buxton, Royce Lewis. You have so many guys and like Buxton can be a star. He has been, but he doesn't play enough, so his statistics don't reflect the star power. But so let's go through it. They got behind the dish. They got Ryan Jeffers and Christian Vasquez. I think that's okay. You're going to get through the season with that being behind the dish. First base is a kind of a crapshoot right now between Jose Miranda and Alex Kirilloff. I think that Miranda can slot in the third, but they also have Jorge Polanco over there already. And they also have Royce Lewis, who's kind of, a third baseman guy too. They're very crowded, the Twins in the infield. So let's assume Kirilloff develops into that hitter that, all the baseball community kind of who's been watching him has been hoping he's going to become. I know he had that wrist injury when he first came up. He's had his struggles, but there is still hope. He is 26. Maybe he could still find it. Second base is being played by Edouard Julien, 25-year-old. I think he's a really solid OBP guy. I think that the Twins haven't found a really good hitter here for second base, and he's got to start. Shortstop's got to be Correa. He's got the deal. He's it's Carlos Correa's shortstop for now. In Minnesota. And then finally, third base is Jorge Polanco. I think that you start Polanco or Miranda, depending on defense. Polanco's the 30-year-old, Miranda's the 25-year-old. I would assume Miranda's got some maybe athleticism there, but I don't know what the defensive stats look like versus each other to see who starts. But right there, you have a solid infield, first to third, all the way through. It doesn't impress me, but it does get the job done.
Shortstop?
Well, I'm talking Kirilloff, Edouard Julien, Correa, Polanco. I think the infield is.
I think it's Jolien, by the way.
Edouard Julien?
Jolien.
Like J-O?
Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay. So Edouard Julien, we'll say. But point being, the infield is like kind of spoken for. They don't really need to make any big splashes there. I think it's more depth pieces, but we'll get to that when we talk about what I think they need to do. I just want to lay the scene here. Their outfield is starting with Matt Wallner, Byron Buxton when healthy, Max Kepler. Again, solid. And when Buxton's there, he's a very good player. What are your thoughts on Buxton, by the way?
He's severely overrated. The move to center field was just announced the other day. So it came out on Twitter. I'm not sure, maybe like 2 days ago. And I tweeted about it because, again, he never plays. So do you want to go through his games played the past 10 years practically?
I would love that.
Yeah, because he's not a good player. So I completely refute what you just said. 2015, 46 games. 2016, 92 games. 2017, and this is the peak. 140 games. So all of Byron Buxton's hype has come from 2017, 7 years ago. 2018, 28 games. 2019, 87 games. 2020, 39, which again, you could say it's COVID. They still played half the games. 2021, 61 games. 2022, 92 games. He was actually an all-star that year. I think he got hurt in the second half. I can't remember exactly. 2023, 85 games. He batted .207 with 109 strikeouts, over 100 304 bats. So he struck out a third of the time. 17 home runs and 42 RBIs. He is severely overrated. He's now above 30. He's 30. So he'll be breaking down more than he already has the past 10 years.
I'm going to say I do tend to agree. He
is not good. There's nothing. I'm pulling it up now for anyone like.
You did say that he's getting based off 2017 and 2022. He's an all-star.
No, based off in 2022 he was an all-star. Yes. Okay. So you're taking a year where he played 92 games and 1 year 7 years ago where he actually played almost the full season.
But in between that, 2020 and 2017, both times he was a top 20 MVP candidate.
2020, we're not counting.
Well, you don't count it. I think it was still 60 some odd games of baseball,
and he played 39 of them. He didn't even play. He barely played half. He's had one season.
I wish the math.
And Brett, the year that I'm just gonna put it up. Like the reason he gets hype is look at his OPS plus. Okay, so above 100, you're considered average, right? Okay. Every year from 2019 to 2022, he had and last year he had a high OPS plus, but that's because he barely played. The year that he played a full game, or full year, and he was 18th in MVP voting, like you're talking about, he was a 93 OPS plus, which is below average. Last year, 98 OPS plus, below average. I think his WAR was below 1. Yeah, his WAR was below 1. His on base is below 300. He strikes out a bunch. He's not good.
Tell us how you really feel. Solid argument, though. Valid.
He's the most overhyped player of the past 10 years, Buxton, in my opinion. Every year, people are saying he had 2022, he stole 29 bases. The next best was 2019, he stole 14. Other than that, his speed has completely fallen off because he gets hurt.
Like a
So you're saying solid outfield, and you're just completely wrong.
Well, Kepler and Matt Wallner are both solid players as well. Like they are solid.
That trio is maybe one of the worst outfield trios in the league outside of like the Athletics. I mean, Wallner had a solid season last year, and I like him. I have his autograph, so I don't want to badmouth him too much. But he's unproven as well. And then Kepler, I guess you could say, is good. Whatever.
Kepler, he had 260 last year at 816 OPS. He had 20.
I just don't like Byron Buxton. I just don't like Byron Buxton.
So, but yeah, the outfield is not that bad. The Athletics bad, like how you just said.
I said no. I said the Athletics are worse. I said the Athletics are worse. And
they also got Willie Castro rotating in here too. Who no one to brag home to mom about, but still, definitely a decent ball club. They went to the playoffs last year. They won a series. They did it with these guys. But moral of the story,
they were the worst. They were the worst team.
The AL Central's the worst division. Yeah, the worst team to make the playoffs in the AL by far, probably.
So, by the way, I just need two things. I want to you didn't mention. You didn't really talk about Royce Lewis that much.
I said he's going to be the util guy right now, third short. I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's really good and he had a great year last year. He batted 300 or 306.
Yeah. So, but the reason I'm saying that is Jorge Polanco, I think, just got traded like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really? To where?
I think it was Seattle.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, some live additions to your. What are you talking about?
It's funny. Somebody actually just tweeted St. Edouard Julian season 2 all who celebrate. Here we go. So it's Mariners acquire Jorge Polanco, second base. Twins acquire Darren Bowen, a right-hand pitcher. Outfielder Gabriel Gonzalez, that's a very solid prospect piece. They get Justin Topa, a right-hand pitcher, and Anthony DeSclafani. I'm sorry. I always mispronounce that name.
DeSclafani, actually. They got him.
Yeah.
The Mariners got him from the Giants and the Robbie Ray trade. Yeah, Gonzalez, Jeff Passan just tweeted this. Gonzalez is a top 100-ish prospect. Topo was excellent in 2023. Bowen was 23 and in low A last year. DeSclafani gives Minnesota much-needed innings. So pretty interesting trade.
Yeah. Interesting timing. So as we go on though through this, so the lineup with the players available right now and the person, so the fact that Polanco is now being moved, I think that third base is going to be dominated by Miranda or Royce Lewis. Probably Royce Lewis at this point. Correa will play short. Miranda will probably be the swing man or first base, depending how Kirilloff does. And then it'll be like a DH platoon between, Kyle Farmer, Miranda, Kirilloff, and Kyle. Probably that's it. Maybe Willie Castro.
Kirilloff, I feel like Kirilloff had a better season than Miranda.
Miranda got injured. He had a big injury last year. He was out almost all year. Regardless, pitching, Pablo Lopez, stud. Joe Ryan, really good. Bailey Ober, what?
No, it was fine. Stud, really good. Like I was like waiting for stud again.
No, Joe Ryan. I don't think Joe Ryan's a stud. Like Pablo Lopez is like people think he's going to win the Cy Young this year. Joe Ryan in his career, he has a 4.05 ERA, which is very respectable. Across 26 wins, 19 losses, he's started 61 games in 335 innings. He has 378 strikeouts and a 1.11 WHIP. So Joe Ryan's actually really good. He's really good. He's just Pablo Lopez a little bit above him. Then you got Bailey Ober, solid third piece. The 4 and the 5 between Louis Varland and Chris Paddack are where I kind of...
And it might change now because DeSclafani might slide right in.
Yeah, exactly. So DeSclafani, I'm going to presume he's going to get thrown in there. They're going to run a 6-man rotation. Paddack will probably be the 4 now or the 5. I think Varland will actually be the 5, and then the 6 will be Varland. I meant Paddack. I think Paddack's going to be the last guy in the rotation coming back from injury. The closer might be the most elite closer in baseball behind Felix Bautista. Johan Duran is nasty. I think he is one of the phenomenal. He's 26 years old. He is a flamethrower, and have you seen this guy pitch?
Yes.
Like, 84 strikeouts last year in 62.1 innings, a 1.139 WHIP, a 2.45 ERA. He had 27 saves. He's disgusting. I think he's going to be really good. The setup, man, they got Griffin Jacks back and Brock Stewart. Their relievers that they're going to be thrown in the bullpen: Caleb Thielbar, Jorge Alcala, Cody Funderburk, Cole Sands, Jordan Belazovic, and Josh Stallman. This team last year...
I feel like maybe 2 of those names you pronounced correctly.
Well, I would hope. That's a tough bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were good. The whole team, the pitching staff was good last year in the MLB for the 6th overall ERA in baseball, a cumulative 3.87. Their WHIP, they had a cumulative 1.20 WHIP, which was, I think, 6th in baseball as well. And they had the 27th fewest walks. They dished out a total of 443 walks. The lineup is where the issues were, but the problem is they have so many guys who I feel are the same. And they were 21st in batting average. They batted .243, 30th in strikeouts last year. Can you believe some teams struck out more than the Yankees? They struck out the most in baseball last year, this team. They had 1,654 strikeouts, tied 23rd in stolen bases. They had 86 total stolen bags last year. Total team. They were 12th in OBP, which is, average, middle of the pack. They were 7th in slugging with a .427 slug and 7th in OPS, a .752 OPS. So it's very clear to me if they want to win, continue to improve upon the pitching, but really the lineup's the issue here. They're the 19th in payroll. They have spent for 2024 $128,471,190. They have money to spend. They're not going to go sign big stars. There's not many left. They're not going to get Blake Snell. They're not going to get Jordan Montgomery. Nor do they need Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery in order to win.
It would definitely help them.
Yeah, I think that, bump
They have
everyone
money.
back, and then Chris Paddock becomes like a mid-range reliever or something like that, or, maybe Louis Varland does. I don't know. I don't disagree. I just don't think Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery are going to sign with the Twins. Do you, realistically?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So, realistically, if I'm the Twins, this is what I'm doing. You have Carlos Correa who's injured, like he's injury prone, and your backup is Willie Castro right now. I think, or Kyle Farmer, maybe even Royce Lewis, but I wouldn't want to pull Royce Lewis off third if I don't have to. So I think go get Tim Anderson on a cheap deal. Go bolster the shortstop situation. Get Tim Anderson. He's a high average hitter. Maybe you platoon him some days, and like you really need to get the batting average up in this team. It looks like they don't need any more mashers. They need contact hitters. Tommy Pham, like you mentioned before, you're not impressed with the outfield. I think Tommy Pham would be a great outfielder to acquire for this team. Solid average hitter, can hit for power, has veteran. He's a veteran, has playoff experience. Would be a great bat to bring to this lineup. You can go get Garrett Cooper. I don't know if you need him at first base, considering you have Kirilloff Miranda. It's kind of a cluster. That's kind of a bad suggestion, but I wanted to bring it anyway in case he's a 260 hitter, and at first it could be, maybe it's time to move Kirilloff for Miranda. I don't know. I wouldn't think so because they're both under 26 years old and probably controllable for a few more years. But just a thought. They could also get Ahmed Rosario for the shortstop, second base guy, and if they don't want to go with the Tim Anderson route, or they can go back to the well who they had last year and re-sign Donovan Solano, who had a solid year last year. The only other suggestions outside of the rotation, they obviously can get like a Michael Lorenzen or a Hyun-Jin Ryu or something like that, but I don't really think they need to. I think they could improve the bullpen a little bit and go get Jacob Junis or Phil Matone. Those are really the big, improvements I see here that is feasible for the Twins' plans, especially because when you look at the Twins, they're, top prospects in the system. We mentioned Walker Jenkins. I think you mentioned he was the 10th overall prospect in baseball now.
Yeah.
So he's 18. He's not coming up till 2026. He's an outfielder, but that will fill the outfield void a little bit in a couple of years. They also have Emmanuel Rodriguez, who's projected to come up next year. He's another outfielder in their system. He's their 3rd overall prospect. So they got 2, and they also got Brandon Winokur, who's in rookie ball. He's not supposed to be up till 2027. He's their 8th overall prospect. So in their top 8 guys, they have 3 outfielders coming up all by 2027. I don't think it's
and you're adding that they just traded for Gonzalez, correct?
Yeah, Gabriel Gonzalez, who's a top 100, according to Passan, he's a top 100-ish prospect. I've seen him on multiple lists ranked inside the top 100, so maybe he fell a little bit. But yeah, he's got talent, Gabriel Gonzalez. I've been saving his Bowman draft cards every time I get them. Well, I save everyone, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I noticed you put top loaders on paper cards, so you're just an absolute psychopath.
It's what protecting cards. Protecting cards called insurance.
For a 10-cent card.
So, thoughts. What do you think about the Twins? Do you think they're bad? They're not going to get rapid improvement? What are your thoughts after going through their lineup? What they could feasibly do given their payroll and the current free agents out there and their current rotation and staff? I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, you gave no stats for the most part for any of these players, so listeners who are listening have no idea how these guys did.
I don't want to bore them too much with how I went with team statistics, how the team performed as a whole. That's the approach.
Yeah, the Twins weren't good last year. I don't like Carlos Correa. I don't like Byron Buxton. I actually think their young guys are much more interesting, being Julian and Royce Lewis. Kirilloff just never kind of panned out. Farmer's old, although I have a card of his right in front of me. Kepler, I kind of forgot that I had Kepler on my fantasy team not too long ago. So I do like Kepler. I think they need another pitcher if they're going to sneak in again. I mean, yeah, they beat the Blue Jays though in the playoffs. I think they need to go get another pitcher that's not DeSclafani.
Yeah,
they should try to go get Blake Snell or Montgomery.
I could see Montgomery more than Snell.
I mean, the projections for Montgomery have gone down to like possibly like $80 to $100 million. So I don't see any reason why they can't afford that. They have what you said, like the 20th payroll in baseball.
19th, yeah.
Yeah. So you said Tim Anderson. That doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't know who they would bring in on offense, because if, say, you're starting Lewis, Correa, Julian, maybe bring in a first baseman. There's no available catchers that are really great. Wallner is solid. Buxton sucks, but you have to play him. He has a huge contract. Kepler is solid. I think they definitely need to bring in another outfielder. So like you said, Tommy Pham, I'm fine with that.
Tommy Pham would be a match made in heaven.
I don't think Tim Anderson makes sense for them, really.
Well, I was looking more at Tim Anderson as a starter, which obviously Tim Anderson would have to agree with.
I know you're looking depth. Who's the best available? Cody Bellinger?
Outfielder, it's Bellinger, yeah. Matt Chapman's the best available third baseman. They don't
really need a third baseman.
Bellinger's the best available outfielder.
Yeah, their offense just isn't great.
It's a weird offense. It's weird.
I don't see how. Look, they might make the playoffs because the AL Central stinks. I don't see how they would make it. I think if there's a team that should really be going out and signing a Bellinger, like out of all the teams you've spoken about, that should go out and sign a Bellinger, a Montgomery, or a Snell, is the Twins, who need like a star to kind of put them over the edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the Red Sox going and signing Jordan Montgomery does not put the Red Sox over the edge. The even like the Yankees signing like a Montgomery, I don't think puts them. I think the Yankees are fine right now. Like the Twins are a perfect example of someone who needs like a big free agent or a semi-big free agent to come in and kind of make them into this they're a wild card team essentially. Well, they're playing in the wild card round. They're not getting a bye, but they can win their division. But they need a stud pitcher for those wild card games that they're going to play. So I more so than any team we've talked about, feel that the Twins should be making a run for Snell or Montgomery, which I haven't heard that they have at all.
Yeah. They should. The AL Central is very winnable. Last year, they got in at 87 and 75. This year, I have them predicted to regress and go to 85. That was my drum roll. 85 and 77.
Probably have a drum roll.
Do you?
No.
No, that was the sound.
I'm just gonna try to see if they are even rumored. I think they are.
I don't know. Probably not. But we can get out of here. That's my Twins recap. It's a weird town. Minneapolis is a weird city. So we shall see how the Twins will pan out 2024. But 85-77, that's my final prediction. They will be north of 500 again in a bad division. I don't think they're going to repeat and make the playoffs, as I think I believe the Guardians are going to take this one. I have to double check my. I'm going to double check that right now. That'll be my last thing. So if I have the Twins going 85 and 77, oh wow, that means I have them winning the division at 85 and 77. Unless the Guardians
I feel like you had the Guardians like at 500 or below 500.
I have them at 83 and 79. I have the White Sox being probably going to be the worst team in baseball at 58 and 104.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Maybe the Athletics, and then the Royals will improve, but they're still going to be like 64 and 98. And well, that's my predicted record. And then Detroit Tigers 80 and 82. I think they're going to totally progress the Tigers, but be just short of 500.
Yeah, again, the Twins have young, interesting guys. Pablo Lopez is great. Joe Ryan is Pablo Lopez, potential Cy Young winner. Joe Ryan could be great. Bailey Ober solid. Chris Back solid. But again, if you bring in one of those guys, the Central is open for years to come. The Royals, who's the next Central team to rise up? The Royals.
The Royals, and their time's not for 2 years.
I know, so that's what I'm saying. So you, as the Twins, you have a 2-year window still to kind of cruise through the AL Central. So I don't know. I don't know enough about the Twins ownership, but all right. This video is brought to you by. No, I'm just kidding. We will be having this on YouTube. It's on a different YouTube channel now. It'll just be Skippers View Pod YouTube channel. We're kind of separating where we're going to put opening videos, video essays, and the podcasts for the current moment. I think we'll talk about it, but we'll probably have like the big interviews maybe on both. I don't really know. We have to figure out exactly. But we've noticed that, again, we want to do different things. We want to have video essays that go up places. And it doesn't really make sense for those video essays to go up next to the podcast. And we're kind of revamping the podcast, which Brett will talk about right now.
Well, I'm not going to talk about what the changes. The only big thing, the big news, which
you said
should have probably announced. Well, we should have probably announced at the beginning of the episode the big news for the people who have made it this long. But we will be adding a new contributor onto the podcast. We're not sure how frequent, but we know that one of our writers, Sam, will be joining us, and we're excited as Sam is pitches in college, definitely knows the game a ton, very well versed, and just another interesting view on the baseball world. So very excited to get Sam on here, and that process will be taking place shortly. So stay tuned.
You could just talk about the changes that are happening. We're going to divisions, right, as predictions, and we're going to kind of jump into prospect.
Well, that's not a change. That's not a change in the podcast. That's more just like the few episodes.
But we've been doing the past 10 episodes have been like team reviews.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wasn't ready to talk about the changes on the air, by the way. So let's just end the episode.
Why?
I wasn't ready. Okay.
Why?
Bye.